I know you guys are like, oh, he's live again. He's on a roll. He never goes live twice in one evening. cover cover something important here real quick. First thing I will tell you, because most of you probably missed this, if you weren't on the live stream last night, there towards the end, when I took the magazine out of the burner, one of the pepper balls fell to the desk and cracked and left and I mean it was like a minuscule amount of powder of the irritant out of the pepper ball. And you notice I started tearing up and all of that. I mean, it was a very slight amount. That stuff is strong. Well, so I cleaned my studio, thought I got it all, but I can tell you, I'm touching stuff, and then when I touch my head, I can feel it burning. So there's still some in here. That stuff is, ooh, man. Anyway, so let me get a drink again real quick. That last live stream did not freeze up at the end. For some reason, it got cut off at the end. All I said was, in memory of Dennis Tuttle, the disabled U.S. Navy veteran and his spouse. So, sorry if you guys, well, it wasn't your fault. You didn't miss it. It's YouTube, some kind of little glitch. But that's not what we're here to talk about this time. This time we are here to talk about Oklahoma, and it's police union driven law that prohibits filming the police. Now, there's a lot of misinformation going around about this law. That doesn't mean the law is good. It's not. But we'll get to that in a second. You got to figure anything that comes from the Fraternal Order of Police, when they use politicians that they've got in their pockets to make a law, it's not going to be good. But it does not, contrary to popular belief, and if you're in Oklahoma, it's very important that you understand this. It does not prevent you from filming the police. And if a cop tells you it's against the law to film him, or video him, you tell him he's a liar. And if he arrests you for it, sue his tail into oblivion. All right, now, we are going to go into that here. Hey, Landley, I see you in there. Let's see. Harris County Audits. Hey, boo. I see you. WTT, greetings. Country Boy Audits, how you doing? No. Okay. All right, so let's get to this right here. Right here. This is one article. It's the Black Wall Street Times. Access is the new civil right. All right. Oklahoma bill makes it illegal to post photos of police with threatening intent. Okay? Bill meant to protect privacy of government workers prohibits posting a video or photo of a police officer with threatening intent. Now, here's the problem with intent. Intent is determined by a judge or prosecutor. This went into effect November 1st of 2021, so it is already in effect. And for those of you that are wondering, because I said I will be going up there to challenge that law, I will be going up there to challenge this law. Oh, sorry guys, there. All right. Back in February, Oklahoma legislators, this would be last February, passed the second of two companion bills that would criminalize anyone who films and publicly posts a photo of police officers. Determined to prove their support for law enforcement, Oklahoma state senators and representatives took a drastic step. The legislation would make it more difficult to hold public servants accountable for their misconduct. State representatives unanimously passed House Bill 2273 out of the House Judiciary Criminal Committee. It makes a criminal out of anyone who intentionally publishes personally identifiable information of a law enforcement officer, such as, now I'm going to pause there for a second. You should not be posting the home address of a police officer unless he posts yours first. You should not be posting information about their family unless they post information about yours first. That you're bringing people into things that haven't done anything. Okay? Back to the story. With the intent to threaten, intimidate, harass, or stalk according to the bill's text. Now, it's already against the law to stalk people. It's already against the law to harass or intimidate people. So this is just BS. The bill would create a misdemeanor charge for the first violation and a felony for any further violation that causes, attempts to cause, or would be reasonably expected to cause substantial emotional distress or financial loss to the law enforcement officer or to the family, household member, or an intimate partner of a law enforcement officer. Now, does anybody see how that could be abused and misused to harass somebody that they don't like, that the cops don't like? Notably, what the bill considers personally identifiable information, now this is important, mixes in the reasonable with the extreme. Along with the name, birth date, and address, it lists telephone number, driver's license number, social security number, place of employment, mother's maiden name as items that would be banned from being made public by civilians. At the end of the list, it includes a photograph or any other realistic likeness of the person. You should be able to publish a photograph of a police officer or video, along with their name, the department they work for, and their badge number. If they have a public telephone or email address, you should be able to publish that so that people can contact them. That is not criminal. These are protected First Amendment activities. Companion bill moving forward in Oklahoma legislature. It would seem obvious that Social Security numbers of any employee should remain private, which it makes one wonder what the motivation was for including photos of any personal likeness. Historically and even recently, video footage has been one of the only reliable ways to hold law-breaking police officers accountable. This is why the police unions pushed for this law. Imagine if there was no video of the George Floyd debacle. It would just be the police officer's word. And we know what that gets. We know where that gets us for prosecuting cops that do wrong. Senate Bill 6 is a companion bill with the same language. It passed a Republican-dominated Senate Public Safety Committee. More than one advocacy group has come out against it. If the personally identifiable information specifically excluded name, department that employs them, and a photograph, we would probably not oppose the bill, said Cindy Alexander of Indivisible Stillwater, Oklahoma, an education and advocacy group. Video is like an extension of our collective eyes, and we don't want our eyes blindfolded, Alexander said, that while it threatens the rights of Oklahomans, she doesn't expect the bill to pass. Well, it did. Let's go down here. Some Democrats even voted for this bill until they got called out on it, and then they changed their tune. Video evidence, a tool against police brutality. I don't know about all this, but I'll go with it. I'll read it to you. Black people and other marginalized Americans already feel the deck is stacked against them when it comes to gaining justice. Even as the country awaited the March murder trial of Derek Chauvin, the Minneapolis police officer who murdered George Floyd, doubt of a conviction hung over the nation like a dark cloud. Proof of misconduct in the form of photos and video changed the national conversation on race and policing. George Floyd's viral death forced a social reckoning and political awakening. It sent millions, and this is true, it sent millions out into the streets during the country's largest social uprising since the civil rights movement. Yet even video footage has rarely been enough to gain convictions of police officers. I'm not going to read the rest of this because you guys get the picture. So, who gains from that law? I have no issue making it illegal to publish a police officer's home address, family members' names, yada, yada, yada. Name, badge number, place of employment, public contact information at the police department, and a photograph and a video. This is perfectly legal. And what brought this on is News Now Patrick, out doing his thing in Oklahoma City, had a Oklahoma City police officer attack him. The officer was off duty working an extra job and had his spouse with him and had a city-issued vehicle. He ended up losing his job over that video and had quite the ruckus. Patrick sued and won a judgment in that suit. And turned out he was like the number 2 guy, maybe number 1, I can't remember now, but he was very, very high up in the state police union. And that's what drove this. That's what this comes from. So now we got to go. In the meantime, there are people out there that don't understand the law and are thinking, "Oh, I can't film the police in Oklahoma." You absolutely can post. You can absolutely video the police in Oklahoma. You just want to be cautious about posting it. But I'll figure out a way to humiliate one of these crooked cops out on the street, and I'm going to post it, and we'll go challenge this in federal court and get it struck down. Now the police are going to these crooked cops, because honest cops don't care if you video them, because they're not doing anything wrong. You might get them making a mistake on video, and most honest cops will own up to that. Yeah, I made a mistake, I screwed up, whatever. And if they get in trouble for that, they'll take that. The only people that you're going to have to worry about are the crooked cops. Because the crooked cops don't like cameras, because the camera won't lie and cover up for them. Now, that's how it is. Let me see if there's any questions here before I jump off. This is going to be quick. Oklahoma's becoming North Korea. Yeah, you're just about right, James. It's going to get worse. It already is getting worse. The police unions have declared war on auditors. Straight out, flat out war. They have Facebook groups where they discuss, and I've got people on the inside, good guys on the inside, that are feeding us information. This all started in Chicago when one of the activists up there got a cop being stupid. And the unions at that point declared they had had enough. So what they have told officers is arrest activists for anything you can. Don't care if it sticks, doesn't matter. Arrest them for anything you can. Most of them don't have money to sue you, and if they do, you'll get qualified immunity, so it doesn't matter. Meantime, they're going to sit in jail. They're going to have to post bond, hire a lawyer, yada, yada, yada. This is a criminal conspiracy amongst the police unions and their members who are cops. People always say, "Oh, why would the police unions target you? Why would the police? What power do the police unions have?" They're all cops. It's a conflict of interest. But, we weren't paying attention, and they unionized, and now we're going to have to fight the unions. You're not just fighting the cops. You're fighting the unions, collective bargaining, union contracts. You are fighting organized crime. That's what police unions are. That's what the Fraternal Order of Police is. It is an organized, domestic, terrorist, criminal organization. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox here and look at comments again. Crooked cops can't determine your intent. We need case law like Turner, in Oklahoma. Yeah, I'm going to go up there and get it for you. North Korean leadership. No, I hear cops got shot in Houston today. Thank God. I hope they were killed. They were not killed. They were wounded and injured, and that's not an appropriate comment to make. Houston PD is a mixed bag. They have a lot of crooked cops. They got a lot of good guys. So I don't know any, to the best of my knowledge, I don't know any of the cops that were shot today. I don't have all their names and stuff, but they all survived. The last I looked, The guy that shot it out with them was in a standoff, had gone and hidden in an apartment. He was wounded, and that's the last I heard. I know if he's wounded and he stayed in that apartment very long, he's dead. He will either bleed out or go into shock. So, that's the end of that. But remember what I always say. Crooked cops get good cops killed. So, if you're a good cop, and I know I got a lot of cops that watch this. If you're a good cop, I know it's hard to stand up to crooked cops. I know you can get blackballed, you can get fired, you can get all kinds of stuff. But if you don't stand up to them, it only gets worse. You got a lot of people rooting for you now. You got a lot of people standing behind you now. This is the time to start pushing the bad guys out. And if you can't push the bad guys out of the department you're in, quit and go someplace else. When they can't get somebody to work for that department, the city will figure out something's wrong and we need to change leadership, we need to do something. And when you leave the department, you always leave and you send an email or a letter to the mayor and tell him, too many crooked cops in this department, I can't work here. Let them know. Let them know. Beyond that, I don't know what else to tell you. Fair, yeah, I don't want to harm anybody if I don't have to. Hey, Steel Crusher. Move the arrest and sue. Yeah, you don't have to be arrested to file a lawsuit. You just have to have your rights infringed. Now, if you're arrested, your damages will be greater, but you don't have to be arrested to prove the point. Toe behind house right this. Just no idea what this dude is talking about. News Now NME 2.0. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Somebody block that idiot. What was I saying now? I got distracted. Hold on a second. Okay. Here we have all these crazy people at it again, as usual. You know, when you tell somebody you don't want them in your house, and they leave, they go change their clothes and come back, what's changed? So when you tell somebody you don't want them on your YouTube channel and they go change accounts so they can come back because they got blocked, it's stalking as far as I'm concerned. There are lots of stalkers out here. And hold on a second. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, yes, James Hope with 2 P's. Oh, James. He's just persistent. Just got to be stupid. Don't understand it. You know, if I don't like somebody, I don't watch what they do. I don't go to their channel and watch their videos. I don't look them up on Facebook. I don't do any of that. Yet that's all these people do. But that's not what we're here to talk about. So I hope some of this information was useful to you guys about this law in Oklahoma on filming the police. So you can Google search it and find all of that yourself. It is an interesting read, but Oklahoma is going to have to make some changes to that law. It's going to have to be done. And if I got to go up there and take an arrest for it and drag them into federal court, I'm okay with that. I am 100% okay with that. So let's get it done. Guys, y'all be safe. Have a nice night, and I will see you again soon.